Hi, welcome to the Oliver Feder YouTube channel. Today I'm working on my Delica L300. It's a 1995, and I'm doing front wheel bearings because I have this weird squeak when I turn hard, and I suspect it's wheel bearings. So, without further ado, I'm already partway into it. Here we go. This is what the spindle looks like once you take everything off. The order of disassembly was lug nuts and wheel, and then this hubcap, which just pops off. I just pried on it a little bit. Then you take the hub itself off, or rather, this is what engages your CV axle to the hub. Then there's this lock washer, which goes on one way, but has those two screws in it. That all just slides off. And then there's finally your actual preload nut. And I took this off with a punch and a hammer, and it came right off. I actually did buy a socket to try to use that, and the socket's the wrong size, so we're back to square one. And then after you take all of that off, then you end up with this, which is what you would need to do your brakes. You need to take this whole thing off because the rotor bolt's on the back. And it's also where your bearings are. So there's one bearing. You can see mine are pretty horrible looking. You know, that grease was probably a yellowish white color when it went in there. That's what the inside looks like. And then I have yet to pull the back bearing. And then also that right there is the race. So I'm doing bearings and races, so all that has to come out. This is what the back side of it looks like with the seal and bearing removed. The seal, it really isn't in there very tightly. I used a seal puller, get it under the edge and pry. A screwdriver or a little pry bar would work just fine. And now it's just the two races, the front and the rear, and those have to come out as well. It's hard to see, but Mitsubishi does give you these 3 brakes where you can actually get a bigger tool on the edge of the race to hammer on it. It's best to drive these in with either the old race or a special tool, but to drive them out, you just want to hammer on them real good. So this is what I used to tap them out. This is like an alignment pin thing from Harbor Freight that costs not that many dollars and is super useful. Big hammer. What's important is you want something either shaped like so, or you want to use like a brass drift. Because if you're hammering them out and you end up scoring this wall here, that will make putting the new race in very difficult. You don't want to score the wall. So these are my new bearings. These are Timken Set 47. They're about $14 a piece. It takes 2 per side, so you would need 4 bearings to do the whole front of your car. Timken Set 47, and then I am using Timken 225875 as the seal. I'm using the Orion Motortech, which is, you know, Amazon Chinese brand. Bearing and race driver, 10-piece set right here, and using the number 7, which looks like it's a 72 millimeter. You could try to pound in the new race like along this edge, but you would A, want to use a brass drift so you don't damage it, and B, it would suck. So instead, use one of these, and now you just, you know, give her a whack right on top and it'll set the whole thing in there super nice and even. Today I'm using the Valvoline multi-vehicle high temp grease. Any high temp tacky grease is probably what you want for wheel bearings. I'm going to be putting it in my empty wheel bearing packer, which is honestly a pretty cheap utensil, and if you pack more than like 1 set of wheel bearings a year, it's worth it. Otherwise, you really don't need this. You can pack them by hand. It just gets your hands really greasy. So this is after packing it, but you basically put this on and then you force the grease through the bearing. Bearing goes in like tapered side down, and then this is after packing it, and this is what you're looking for if you do it by hand too. You can kind of take a big pile of grease in your hand and then like slap the bearing into it, but you want the grease to go in between all the rollers is what we're going for. This is with both races in there, and I haven't put any grease in here yet, but what I like to do is do a thin coating in the middle, put your pack bearings in, and then some more on the outside, and then the seal, and that's pretty good. You don't have to fill the entire cavity with grease, that's excessive. With the new seal in place, you can just set the seal on top, and then gently start it with something big and even. This could be a wood block that you put over the whole thing, and then a hammer on the backside, but don't take a hammer like this to it. That's gonna be bad. I like to start it at the side of this big mallet so that it's like evenly hitting both sides, and then I'll switch and finish it off like this. You don't have to go crazy. It just needs to be kind of flush. Now we have both bearings in. Rear is held in with that seal. Front is just chilling here. They're both packed. You can kind of see how I like to cover up the front of it with a little bit of extra grease, but nothing too crazy. And now it's just reverse. Goes back on the car. You put your tightening nut against everything. I want to say too, I already cleaned the spindle when I showed it to you earlier, but make sure that's all clean. Make sure everything's clean. And now when it goes back together, apparently there's some very specific Mitsubishi procedure, but wheel bearings that large, you take that lock nut, I'm going to tighten it till it's too tight while spinning this. And the point is you're seating your bearings and races together. Then I'm going to take a drift and back that lock nut back off a bit, and then I'm going to tighten it up again till it's just snug, but not like really tight. Whenever you're doing bearings, you only ever want like a snug amount of preload unless this is a different call for that application. A lot of rear axles end up with higher preload torques, but for a front grease pack job like this, generally you want it snug and it'll last a long time. Okay. So you probably got grease on your rotor while doing this. Clean your brake rotors off before assembling your brakes again. You don't want a greasy brake rotor. That's bad. Here's that lock nut, or the preload nut, going back on, just getting it even remotely seated by hand, and then I'll go back in here with a hammer and this drift. Again, same tool. So now I'm just going to hammer it like so until it's really tight while I'm spinning it to make sure the bearings seat, and then again I'm going to back it off and then go until it's just snug. Unfortunately, I'm doing this with my phone, so I really can't film doing it at the same time. Then goes this lock ring, and you need the screw holes, 1, 2, to line up to the ring, so it might take some trial and error. I guess the other thing I want to point out too about setting that preload is on bearings, and any bearing, it's a lot easier when you have a socket on it to feel this, but after you do your initial seating, when you back it off, it'll get fully loose again. And then if you go to tighten it, you'll notice, even if you spin it in between, you'll notice it goes from spinning super easily to then like the lock nut will go from loose to then like starting to get tight, and that starting to get tight point is right about where you want to be. And you can also check, see how it spins. You're too tight if it really doesn't want to spin at all, but like this right here, where it does about a half turn by itself, is great. That's gonna be fine. No spring scale needed. Okay, now it's time to put your basically axle engagement hub back on, and this is where it's important to put a little bit of silicone here. If you don't and you drive through water, there's no actual seal between these two metal surfaces, and you get water in here and ruin the whole thing. So I'm just gonna put a bead. You can kind of see where the last one was right here, and you don't need a lot. A lot will mess things up, or at least get in the way next time. I'm just gonna go around this outline with a light coat of silicone and then put it on there. Cool, this hub is now on. I went just decently tight with the mini impact, which is probably around 50 foot-pounds. If I had to guess, these are probably somewhere from 40 to 60 foot-pounds, and probably anything but around like 40, 45 is fine. Okay, now there's this little ring which goes on first. It's like a washer, and then there's the snap ring which goes back on. This style snap ring pliers, super useful for these kind of things. Would highly recommend you get a set. Snap ring and then dust cap. Tap your dust cap in place with a nice rubber mallet. Maybe put a little bead of grease in the back to seal it in there, and put your caliper back on. And congratulations, you have now done wheel bearings on your L300. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps you take care of your car.